The city of Halifax still lit up here like it's the holiday season. Yes, the festivities continue, the holiday spirit all through the Maritimes. Maybe not so much inside Scotiabank Centre here as two rivals meet up. Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside. It's Pete Halliday along with Pat Gregoire, and we'll also have Mackie Jenner joining us here in what is a bit of a rematch going back to last year's playoffs.
Not only just a rematch of the semifinal, but sneakily becoming one of the best rivalries in the NLL. This should be a banger on the East Coast.
It could be a low-scoring banger, Pat, for sure, because we have two goalies going head-to-head that are off to great starts.
Yeah, two tenders of the twine that have been outstanding to start the 25-26 campaign. And look no further than the 2025 goaltender of the year, Frank Giuliano. He tracks the ball really well, but he has sneaky athleticism as well. When he puts those two together, he is such a difficult goalie to beat, averaging about 9 goals against per game, an 82 save percentage, and his best game of the season came last week against Georgia. Only gave up a 4-spot.
Well, 4-spot indeed, very impressive. What about Warren Hill at the other end, the nest protector here in Halifax?
A lot of haters, a lot of doubt in the offseason surrounding that crease for Halifax. Is Warren Hill good enough? Do they have a legitimate number one? But those haters were silenced in the first two opening games. The man they call the King of the Hill in the Maritimes has a 90.5 save percentage, a mind-blowing 4.9 goals against average. Pete, those aren't just video game numbers. It's like he's playing on easy mode and using all the cheat codes while doing it.
History made out west last week and earlier this month as well here in Halifax with these two guys. Yes, history indeed. We'll see if we'll see a little history here tonight. You never know what you might be in for here as we get all set and ready to roll. It's the home Halifax Thunderbirds in purple with orange. Jake Withers to take the draw right there for Halifax, in the Rush in white with green and a little black in there as well. As it's going to be Naso, Jake Naso on the draw here against Withers, and with that, it is showtime here in Halifax. We're underway on rock and roll night here on the East Coast as the ball is picked up by Bobby Kidd III. He comes in, rolls off, got a couple Thunderbirds on him. Withers is one of them, and Withers picks up the loose ball, and here come the Thunderbirds up the other way, making his way in. Terefenko. He'll drop the ball over here to Randy Stotts, who moves it a little closer to Clark Peterson. Peterson with it. Peterson working one-on-one, gets the pick, takes the look, decides not to shoot. Dawson Theed will unload the ball. Cody Jamieson, here's a shot coming. That goes wide of the goal, off the side glass, and the Rush will take things over here as the shot clock, well, no, the reset, and the Thunderbirds get it back. Or do they, Pat?
No, they're going to say there was no change of possession there. So Saskatchewan's going to stick with the ball.
So the Rush with an opportunity here to open the scoring in front of a full house here in Halifax tonight as they move it over to the near side. This is going to be Zach Manns, one of the players to watch for sure for the Rush as he moves the ball, comes back on the near side. Here's Keenan. Keenan to the crease, stays out of the crease, gets it to Manns. Little fake, he goes in deep, can't take the shot he wanted as he had Thompson all over him, and the Thunderbirds up the other way. That's played there by Thompson. Into the stick of Bomberry. Quickly gets it to Clark Peterson. Here's Cody Jamieson, the captain here in Halifax, being watched closely by Barnable. Spins away from him, gets the ball down deep, out in front. Good chance for Knox. Jason Knox was heading to the goal, which he does very well. Off to a good start this year, wearing number 11 for the Birds now. Saskatchewan up the other way. Nicely underway here. No scoring so far. Here's a shot that is blocked by Tyson Bell. And Bell, the St. Catharines, Ontario native, gets the ball ahead. He'll find an open Ryan Terefenko. Terefenko drops it. Withers back to Terefenko, hangs on to it. He'll get the ball here to Randy Stotts. He'll slow it down now a little bit. Stotts looking, hangs on to it, spins, backhand shot. Giuliano with the save. The old no-look backhander.
Yeah, anytime the ball is in the stick of Randy Stotts, doesn't matter if his back is turned to you, he is a threat to score, a threat to play make. We saw that on full display right there, Pete.
Here's Keenan. Keenan's got room. He takes the shot short side. It comes all the way back to the top where it's going to be played here. They'll move it down low. Here's a shot or a pass attempt. It goes wide in the corner, and Halifax will get the ball back as they'll run it up the floor. Thompson making his way in. Flips it into the stick here of Clark Peterson. Peterson waits, he finds, feeds, shoots. Chiliano with the save. Bonberry fighting to get the loose ball out in front. It'll go off the glass, and Barnable will take it as we get a whistle.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get our first penalty of the game. Saskatchewan going to get called for holding the stick. Jake Boudreau heads to the sin bin. He's one of our officials tonight. Simon D'Souza with the call on the floor. And Pete, that's one of those focus calls that we've seen to start this year. Something that these officials are keeping a close eye on in the 25-26 season.
Here's Theed to Peterson at the top, backhand pass, shot. And a stop there, Chiliano. Comes back, Peterson. Bonberry, Peterson. Swings it over, Theed across, and Randy Stott's trying to find it here. 7 on the shot clock. Bonberry, Peterson, Jamieson, Stotts, back door. Oh, Dawson Theed thought he had one. He wants that one back, perhaps.
Yeah, outstanding ball movement. Theed usually does a lot of his damage from the outside on the power play with that big shot. Great little set piece, though, to get him on the crease. Frank Chiliano doesn't make the save, but he obviously gets a great angle to force the shot wide.
Anderson sends it over to the far side. Off the post. Almost a shorthanded goal by the Rush. Ball goes up and out of play. And a full 30 here for Saskatchewan.
Nice shot there from Zawada to switch hands. Free up space. We see that a lot on the man down, especially with a lot of these elite field lacrosse players coming inside the box across game.
Just killing some time on the penalty kill. Zawada coming in, bounce shot, Warren Hill with the save. Looks up floor. He's going to find Terefenko. And he'll jog in it a little bit. Still a little time left on the power play here for the Thunderbirds. Randy Stotts with one hand on the stick, moves it in, headed in, decided not to go any further. Gets it to Peterson, to Theed. Back and forth, they play catch. Dawson Theed scores on the power play. Feeling the need for Theed here in Halifax.
I just mentioned it last possession, Pete. Theed, normally the outside shooter on that left side. He's got such a great release, but how about the off-ball movement? Randy Stotts on his wrong side, running a bit of a wheel on the power play that draws out Saskatchewan's men and gives up enough space for Dawson Theed to go high to low and score the game's first goal.
So 1-0 Thunderbirds draw first blood here tonight. They'll get the draw here, and Halifax will send out their defenders, and the Rush will send out their offense looking to tie up this game. Zach Mans. Mans gets away from one check. Finds an open Keenan. Keenan shoots, and a save by Warren Hill. Terefenko again will bring it up the left side of the floor. Couple nifty moves by Terefenko. Mike Robinson gets it in deep. This is Knox. Knox moves it over here to Randy Stotts. Stotts gets a little move from Bonberry, who went to the goal looking for the feed. Stotts still with it. Randy Stotts, swim move, switches hands, a left-handed pass over to Jamieson, to the top, right up and over. Robinson with that big shot of his. We've seen him score like that several times. Didn't miss by much there.
A really nice job, but how about the defense from Accioni, the youngster, just draped all over Randy Stotts, not giving him any options or any space to make a play.
The very native, yes, playing a bigger and bigger role each week, it seems, for the Rush. Shot coming, and Warren Hill sees that one all the way. 9:07 to go here. And we just have the one goal, but it came from the home team, the Halifax Thunderbirds. as Dawson Thede puts it past, and it's 1-0 Halifax. Opening, this is a rematch going back to the semifinals last year, the playoffs. With more on that, here's Mackie Jenner.
Well, yes, guys, not only is this the start of a home-and-home between these two teams, but it is a rematch of one of last year's semi-finals where Saskatchewan ended up ending Halifax's playoff run. And when I talked to head coach for the Thunderbirds, Mike Kersey, he said, I'd be lying if I didn't have this one circled on my calendar and didn't want a little taste of revenge tonight. But this year, it's about us and our controllables, as that semi-final game 2 ended in a bit of chaos. He said this season they had a ton of chats during the preseason about accountability, discipline, poise, and everyone bought in right off the top. And they've only played 2 games, but they felt adversity early. They've seen Doug Jamieson and Matt Vince in their first 2 games, and Frank's going to give them a problem tonight and next week as well. They were down to Buffalo. They found a way in overtime to take down the 3-time defending champs. They've been hit by the injury bug. Trevor Smith and Thomas Hogarth going down. It's just next man up, finding ways and being a tough team to play each and every week this season for the Thunderbirds.
All right, Mackie, thank you. As we're back underway, Thunderbirds leading 1-0. Pass out in front by Thede. Broken up here by the rush. And they'll head up the floor. Here comes Mike Messenger. Drops it. Down low. Good chance here. And once again, Warren Hill standing tall and making the save. There's the ball. It was in the gear somewhere.
And something to watch here, Pete. 2 of the best transition teams in reverse, taking away the fast break. Both of them, according to Time Air Lax, only giving up half a goal in transition. But Saskatchewan, a couple of good chances on the run so far. Something we're going to have to watch here tonight.
Here's Randy Stotts. Again, one hand on the stick. Now 2. Gets it to the top. Robinson moves it over. Here's a shot, a bouncer. Stopped by Chiliano. Loose ball out in front of his crease, and it's scooped up here. And Saskatchewan will come up the other way. They'll slow it down just a little bit. And it's going to be jogged in here by Zach Mans. Mans wants it back. He'll get it. He'll start the play off the boards here. Swings it over to Shanks, the former Halifax Thunderbird. Always loves playing here, whether it was with the home team or in his days in the last year and a bit with the Rush. Seems to see the ball well here in the net. The old nest for Shanks.
Yeah, he really does, especially off the bench. We'll see that more later in the game, but just that little shot to the far side. He's done it so many times.
Randy Stotts. Yeah, he sure has. And here's a transition opportunity. This is going to be Boudreau moving it ahead. Intercepted. As Thompson had it. I'm not sure he knew he had it, but great defensive play nonetheless. And here comes O'Connor. O'Connor, little bounce pass. And he'll get the ball here to Clark Peterson. Peterson pops it over to Thede. Thede, who has the only goal so far, to Knox. Knox trying to get away here from a couple of rush defenders. And almost a partial break there, but there still could be. Here he comes. Accioni coming in, couple fakes, shoots, he scores! And we have a 1-1 lacrosse game.
What a start to this game for Accioni. What a start to the season for the pride of Barrie, Ontario. Just an absolute workhorse on the back end. Certainly not the biggest body on this rush defense, but he works hard, and that hard work pays off with a breakaway chance. A little patience, puts that right on the hip of Warren Hill. A perfectly placed shot for his first tuck of the season.
It's all 1-1 game with 6:40 to go here in the first quarter. And the Rush eventually grabbed this one. Bobby Kidd the third, and a penalty coming up here against Halifax. A little hold got caught by the official, and we're going to see the Rush on the power play for the first time tonight.
Number 34, 2 minutes holding.
Going to be a hold for
Ryan Terefenko. Saskatchewan will get a look here off the draw. It's going to be a great battle between these two, but the ball team as well. Look, wait and see. I think it's going to come up right here. One hand on the stick. We don't get a look there, but just to note there, Accioni, that's his first NLL goal as well, so I hope they grab that ball.
They did. They got right in there, grabbed it, and a goal he'll never forget. Close chance there, but Halifax getting the ball back, and it's Jake Withers. Withers kicks it back, and that's going to be an opportunity for the Rush as that's over and back to get right back here on the power play and set things up. Keenan coming in, near side, passes it back. Big defensive play there by Graham Hossack, and Hossack continues to stay with it, and here come the Thunderbirds. Oh, Hossack thought we're going to see a 2-on-1 with Tyson Bell. He decided to head back to the bench, and Hossack slowed it down. And here's Clark Peterson with it. Bomberry feeds it over to the far side. Here's a chance. Peterson, a bouncer off the shoulder of Frank Chiliano, makes the save. Still lots of time left in the power play here for the Rush, looking for their first lead of the night. We're tied at 1 as the Rush coming into Halifax, the first of a home and home. These two teams go right back at it next week. Here's Mans. Mans sliding over to the near side, down towards the crease. Mans again over the far shooter position on the near side. And nothing doing there, and Halifax will get the ball back. .17 to kill off for the Thunderbirds here in this penalty to Terefenko. And Randy Stott's in charge of things right now. He's got the ball. Gets a little pick here from Peterson. Sends it over to the far side for Dawson Thede. And now it's back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Terefenko right out of the box. Takes the heavy shot. He scores! Seconds after, coming out of the sin bin, Ryan Terefenko makes it a 2-1 lacrosse game.
And he totally redeems himself. From the sin bin to the back of the net, Terefenko with a heat-seeking missile from deep. Snipes this one from Sackville, just barely over the restraining line. Again goes high to low. That's twice now we've seen these sharpshooters for Halifax change playing, go high and down low on Frank Chiliano.
And they win the draw here. They come looking for more. As Graham Hossack playing against his brother here tonight. The Hossack family always sort of split. The mom wears a jersey of one team, the dad wears a hat, or vice versa. They always kind of split it up best they can.
Yeah, Mr. Hossack.
The natives of Port Perry, Ontario.
Yeah, he wears the home team's jersey with the away team hat.
That's what it is.
Even the parents have superstitions, Pete.
Yeah, right, for sure. Jake Boudreau coming in here for the Rush. Chance to tie things up here, getting into the later stages of the first quarter. Zach Mans. Mans, look, shoots a high shot. Heavy one, too. Just missed. Good loose ball picked up there by Brock Haley. Shot from over the top and a pad save. Perhaps even off the toe of Warren Hill on a reset here for the Rush. Keenan gets the play going again to Mans. Over to Shanks on the far side. Austin Shanks. Sets a little pick, comes over to the near side. This is Keenan with it. Keenan looking. There's the feed. Hossack out in front, knocking Mans down. And that's going to be a penalty against Halifax. Fans obviously don't like it, but nothing they can do about it as the Rush will go back on the power play. 3:07 to go here in the first quarter. And the Halifax Thunderbirds have taken a 2-1 lead, but they have to kill off a penalty when we come back. The NLL on ESPNU is brought to you by STX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL. and by TFL Sports. Collect the stars of the National Lacrosse League with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL.
Welcome back inside Scotiabank Arena here on the East Coast. We know last year for this Thunderbirds team, bit of a nightmare start, 0-3. Really, nothing could go their way. It has been a dream start for the Thunderbirds. An outstanding performance on the home turf. They beat Oshawa, have that historic 2-goal against, and then they go into Banditland and knock off the back-to-back champs. You always hear coaches talk about starting on time. It's not just about games, it's also to start the year.
And what a start it has been. Oh, off the post. A reset here for the Rush. What a close chance there. Mans at the top. Mans coming in, backhand feed. Keenan, sidearm shot. Stop, picks up his own loose ball off the glass. Sets up in behind the goal. There's a backhander over to the far crease, to the shooter position. Bell with a healthy tap. Comes to Mans, across Keenan. Quick pass across. Goes a little high. Back to Keenan. Ryan Keenan, shot, they score on the power play. It's a 2-2 game here late in the first as Zach Mans is on the board.
A really nice effort here from Halifax on the man down. Great rotation, great slide, but a little bit of uncontrolled chaos and just too much time and too much space for Zach Mans. Hammers this one from deep, beats Warren Hill to tie the game up at 2s.
So Zach Mans, who we chatted with earlier this week, had a good chat with him. Coming from a big family. I don't know if he had to buy presents for all 10 family members or not. But hopefully for him it was more of a Secret Santa situation there.
I know he wasn't home for the holidays, Pete, but all the guys living in Saskatchewan in Market had their own little rush miss. They called a couple of dinners.
That's awesome to see it here. Here's Peterson. Moves it over. Couple fakes. Robinson off the bar. Mike Robinson with a great chance. Denied. Barnable finds an open man. Far side. And Warren Hill with the save. Loose ball came right off the glass. And into the stick right there of Boudreau. Here's Ryan Keenan again, the captain. Former first overall pick in the National Lacrosse League. Pick set, Mans. Keenan, the Oshawa, Ontario native. Swings it over to the far side. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Now or never for the Rush. They get a shot, they do, and a save by Warren Hill. He has faced 12 shots already in this one. Here come the Thunderbirds up the other way.
A nice job by Halifax. You give up that shot, but block out your man. Box up your man. Get that loose ball. Do not allow Saskatchewan with that repossession and a reset of the 30-second clock.
Randy Stotts just couldn't get the ball under control and did his best, but it's going to be Saskatchewan coming down looking to take the lead here. As it's played at the top. Taken there by Holden Garland. He'll get it in deep, the veteran with the rush. There's a cutter, nothing doing there. Comes to the near side, Anderson. Anderson, oh, lone shooting, and Warren Hill again with a piece. May have caught a piece of the post as well, and in transition up the other way, it's Thompson coming in. Thompson shoots right on goal, and a save by Shiliano. They may pull the goaltender here for the extra runner.
They do.
Timing is basically perfect here for the Rush to play for the final shot. Haley. He drops the ball here into the stick of Robert Church. Rolls to the top again. Crease. Oh, what a save! Warren Hill, beauty at the buzzer. My goodness.
Are you kidding me? Warren Hill goes post to post to keep this game tied up at 2s on the East Coast. The unbelievable season continues for Warren Hill. We've got a low-scoring battle here on the East Coast on ESPNU.
TGL is back, and this season's opening match is Sunday afternoon right here on ABC and the ESPN app. A rematch of last year's finals, Xander Schauffele and Ricky Fowler lead New York against Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, and Atlanta. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Well, Pat Gregoire has thrown around the term video game numbers a few times this season, including one Mike Messenger, but that's not the only game he's found success at. That's right, hunting. His dad taught him how to fish at a young age, and he moved to the Kootenays in British Columbia, where he taught himself how to hunt. He said being with the animals in their own environment and learning how they thrive is really what captivated me. He's a bit obsessed. He said he's always researching, and during their hunting off season, he's even tracking the animals and keeping tabs on what they're up to. A recent highlight for him was his first elk.
Well, a bear and her cubs creating a little scared Pat.
Yeah, that's something
for Mike.
Certainly I would not want to come across, but Mike Messenger definitely a tougher customer than probably both of us combined and add some.
Halifax with it here, tied at 2. Second quarter action. Robinson right though into the stick here. A Messenger, there he is. Comes in, nice pass shot. And another good chance taken away. As Tyson Bell grabs this loose ball here for the Thunderbirds. He'll get it here into the stick here of Dawson Thede, who's got one of the 2 here. Here's a shot coming. Chiliano with a save. Rebound. Take it here. Accioni looking for his second. Coming in. Shoots. He scores. He's got 2. Why not? Get the first one. Add to the totals. And for the first time tonight, the Rush lead it. It's a 3-2 game.
Matt Accioni, have yourself a night. His second goal of the game, second goal of his career. He's absolutely fired up. Hard fake puts it through the wickets of Warren Hill to give Saskatchewan their first lead of the game. But Cam Accioni is an embodiment of what Rush lacrosse is all about.
The former Barrie Bomber. His dad winning a couple Minto Cups with Orangeville back in the day. Some pretty good bloodlines there for sure, and he's got himself a pair here. So it's Halifax trailing for the first time tonight. Here's Mike Robinson. Robinson trying to feed it here for Jamieson. Comes here, little fake. Jamieson out front, fake, shoots! And Chiliano keeps it out. Waved off, no goal. How did he stop that?
Cody Jamieson, I think he wants another look at it. He wants a challenge flag. Does he make the save? Doesn't matter, it's not hockey where the net's off. It's where that goal mouth is. As I don't think he's...
There it comes.
And yeah, he spoke too soon. There comes the challenge flag.
It is out. Good toss there by Mike Kersey. Pretty good distance on that one. Yeah, we will take another peek as well. That was awfully close. And Cody Jamieson was right there, had the best view of anybody.
I think there might be a discussion if there was perhaps 30 seconds. That is one of the new rules now. A lot of chatter about the NLL official review system, which is great. You're going to be able to get a great look at these officials taking it, but there's also has to be 30 seconds. Instead of me explaining it, let's sound to crew chief Chris Williams.
The previous no goal is under review.
All right, there you have it.
So got it in time.
Got it in time. You can see Mike Kersey, Stu Montour taking a look on that iPad. We'll get a look here. There's a great, this was an unbelievable play. There's the shot. Where is the ball? That's going to be the question. Don't think we're going to get a good enough look. Keep also in mind, has to be inconclusive evidence. They're going to have to turn this over, or if it's inconclusive, it will stay with the play on the floor. Where is that ball? Are you going to be able to prove where the ball is, and if it crosses that line, where the net would be? That's going to be really difficult to determine. And keep in mind, these are our books that we're getting, Pete.
Yeah.
Going back to the official review, implemented this year, you know, a complete cloud-based system. They'll have all 9 looks at it. They'll be able to go through, look to see, all time stamped as well. So they can go look at the overhead and then click a button. Then it goes to the same time frame on a different angle. They can zoom in, they can zoom out, take a look where this is. And the great thing about this as well, both teams on both benches have the almost exact same system. So they're going to be able to see the same angles that the refs are going to be able to take a peek as well.
It doesn't go in his pad, does it, by any chance?
I think that, well, I can't see the ball, Pete.
Does it go into his right pad? I mean,
so there's the, I think it goes right, that's exactly it. I think it goes into that pad. Into the lowers. And where does he land back? Does he go into his own net? Again, that net is knocked off. Going to be really difficult to overturn this one. Does he fall into the net? Does it cross the line?
yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of things to look at as Chris Williams
And take a look,
takes a peek.
Pete, on that
Yeah.
left-hand side. That's what Simon D'Souza and Chris Williams are taking a look at. They have the luxury of that overhead angle.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to see. They can go in, take a look at the overhead. As you can see, they're pointing it. That's the great thing about this. It's a great big view. You can bounce back and forth, and I think based off what I'm seeing down below, I think they've gathered enough information that they're going to have a call down on the floor shortly here.
Evidence. And it's no goal. Halifax has charged their timeout.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough there to overturn it. You're absolutely correct. Just
Inconclusive evidence. They have to go with the call down on the turf, which was a no goal.
So the game will remain 3-2. Halifax thought perhaps they had tied it up, but not this time. They do have the ball, and it's whistled in, and here comes Tarafanko. They'll quickly get it inside rush territory. Comes over here to Knox. Jason Knox in for Theed. Theed, Randy Stotts. Back to the near side. It's Theed. He's got one already tonight. There's the pass across. Looking for Stotts. Peterson picks up the loose ball. Clark Peterson finds Theed. Shoots. He goes over the top a little high, and it goes into the Halifax bench. And the Rush will get the ball back.
Really nice job by Ryan Barnable to crash down low, take away that option on the back door. He was out of position, but a lot of times a great defender, if they get out of position, they find a way to get back into it.
Church with the ball. He moves it over to the far side, wants it back. He's opened up as Keenan gets away, and a penalty coming up here. That was another one very close to going in, but stays out. Shanks will slow it down a little bit. Sheliano hustles as fast as he can over to the Rush bench. Get that extra runner out there. And Church will set up the play from the top. Gets it to Austin Shanks. Shanks looking, swings it down towards the crease. Thompson had it for almost a half second, but not long enough to get it whistled down. Shanks again, a quick stick, and that goes off Bill in the post, maybe two again. Rush very close. They could have 5 or 6 at this point, Patty.
There's no doubt about that. Orville's done a great job taking away that backdoor look. Clearly something they're trying to expose.
It's holding.
And there it is again, another hold. The holding of the stick. A focus call for this season. And anytime, I say it all the time on these broadcasts or when I'm coaching, As soon as that defender gets that offhand off the stick and touches the offensive player, the officials are going to call it 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10.
3-2 Rush looking to build on their lead. Church at the top of the power play. Here's Austin Shanks to the far side. Back to Shanks. In deep. Everyone pretty much getting a touch here. A little quick stick here on the near side. Haley couldn't get it past, and there's a shot. Hill stops that one way up in the air. A bit of a jump ball here. Hosick, Tyson Bell, Ryan Terefenko will have it. And Terefenko. Couple moves to get away from a check. Bounces it over, and he'll get it to the far side as Halifax continues to kill off the penalty here. Maybe looking for a short-handed one to tie things up. Randy Stotts with a one-handed shot. And Chiliano with the save. And here comes the Rush on the power play.
Anytime Halifax has the ball in the offensive end on a man down, of course, object number one is to kill up the clock. But guys like Randy Stotts, they got the green light to make some magic happen, take it to the net.
At the top here, and they'll roll towards the far side. Mans. Keenan, and plays whistle down. Halifax ball. Connor moves it ahead, and here come the Thunderbirds with a little time still left to kill off here. 35 to go in the penalty. Lee working off the near boards, rolling the stick. It's away from Barnable, passes it over to the far side. Here's Bomberry coming in. He loses control. Brendan Bomberry getting a little extra time on that far side with Thomas Hogarth out for the Thunderbirds. Quick shot, they score! On the power play, there was 6 seconds left, and the Rush have taken a 4-2 lead.
This one's going to count as a power play marker, but it's almost in transition. As Halifax, I talked about it, Pete, giving up half a transition goal on average to start the season. Now 3 times a slow change has cost them. Look, 2 flat-footed, as Saskatchewan is able to find a little bit of daylight. Shanks with a beautiful skip pass. Whitby to Whitby connection on the back door. As a team that was kind of finding its legs offensively is starting to find its mojo.
So the captain, Ryan Keenan, giving the Rush the 4-2 lead here. Mike Robinson to Stotts down low. Thunderbirds looking to come back here, down by a pair. Robinson hangs on. He's got some room. Still with it. Robinson trying to get through 2 defenders. Ran out of real estate.
Can't run yourself into doubles. That is the MO of Saskatchewan. They love throwing the double. They love sliding early, putting offensive players into vulnerable positions. Mike Robinson just ran right into the Rush's playbook there.
Church, Anderson. Quick pass over. Comes back to the near side. Pass went off the glass, and Tyson Bell will take it here. And here comes Tyson Bell. Drops it. He'll take the drop pass as well as he took the feed from Max Wilson. And now it's Randy Stotts. Randy coming in, scores! Classic Randy Stotts. A little bouncer, and the Birds are within 1.
Vintage Randy Stotts indeed. As a guy that doesn't always hammer the ball, but more of a feather here, gets that hard pick from Max Wilson, the defender getting stuck on offense. Frees up enough space for Stotts just to whistle that bouncer right by Frank Chiliano, something probably he's gonna want to have back. But you can't blame yourself when Randy Stotts had the ball in his stick. One of the most deceptive shooters in the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, you always want to have it back, but that shot we've seen, he's beat almost every goaltender in the league with that exact play. Not a ton on it, but very accurate and knows exactly where to bounce it. It is a 4-3 game. Zawada Off the carpet, Anderson will pick it up. Withers keeping a watch on him. Here's a quick shot, that goes wide. Off the corner glass with 8:35 left. And the Thunderbirds have got the crowd back into this one as well, as Randy Stotts has closed the gap. It's a 1-goal game. Warren Hill, busy guy here tonight as well. We're back with a Rush up by 1 here on ESPNU.
The NLL returns to Edmonton as Lyle Thompson and the Swarm host the Roughnecks for the league's 2nd annual NLL Unboxed Series event. Head to Ticketmaster.ca to get your tickets now. Well, in the early days of his career, Dawson Thede was balancing playing college hockey at St. Mary's University right here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, as well as playing in the NLL. He was considered a part-timer. He was bouncing around between teams until general manager and owner Kurt Stiers brought him to Halifax. Now, since graduating and focusing solely on lacrosse, he's been a force. He said it was hard to be consistent balancing 2 sports, competing with regular lineup guys for a spot that was almost unreachable. So being able to just play in the NLL has given him more opportunity to prove he belongs and that his team has that need for Thede. And looking at those numbers, he's certainly done so, proving why he belongs.
Thank you, Mackie. Great story there, and already involved in this one. And hard to believe he's from Ontario, that all 20 Ontario Hockey League teams, one of the top junior teams in Canada, Pat, passed on Dawson Thede. I bet you they'd want him now if they could get him.
Yeah, they certainly would. I'm sure Kurt Stiers and Micah Kersey pretty pleased about that, because
Jamison shoots and he scores. The captain replies, and this game is tied at 4. Denied earlier, but not this time.
Nice skip pass from Randy Stotts and quickly in and out of the stick again. Down low on Frank Chiliano. Clearly the shooting chart, the goalie chart that Micah Kersey, head coach of the Thunderbirds, is working here tonight. And who better but one of the sharpest shooters in the history of the game. Cody Jamieson goes low to low this time.
Well, both captains with a goal in this one so far. The Rush will get the ball here, looking to take back the lead. No shocker that this one is a tight one. 4-4 game. Still some good time left here in the first half. Mans, Anderson to the near side for Austin Shanks, the former Thunderbird. Shanks, Anderson comes back, quick, oh, what a save. Warren Hill off the shot from Church. Another big stop by the King of the Hill. Here's Tarafinkel up the other way for Dawson Thede. Looking for a second of the night. Fakes, makes his way out in front, one-handed shot, and Chiliano with the save off Dawson Thede. Bobby Kidd III making his way in and heads to the bench after getting the ball into the stick here of Zawada. Zawada shoots, he scores! Great shot! Josh Zawada, and it's 5-4 Saskatchewan.
Zawada, one of the players getting more opportunity this year, and if he continues to shoot the biscuit like this, Pete, those opportunities are going to come all season long. Gets caught on an island is Armstrong, runs right into the pick. Pearson can't move up, Armstrong can't move up. So Zawada says, hey, I'm going to uncork a bomb from the outside to regain this lead.
So once again, the Rush have taken the lead. And Garlett back to retrieve that ball, and the Rush coming back looking for more. Smith gets it back. Jared Smith for Zawada. Out in front, and now Warren Hill will scoop it up. Hill fires it up. Graham Haase, great pass. Haase comes in. He stops, he shoots. He tried to get Chiliano to move one way and fired it near side. Haase gets the ball back. He'll get it here for Tarafinkel.
I was just going to say, don't love that take from Haase. As after getting a delayed penalty coming up. Tossic going to get his second penalty of the night. This is behind the play. I'm not sure what it is, but Chris Williams down on the floor will let us know.
Halifax penalty, number 4, illegal body check.
Thunderbirds faithful letting the officials know their thoughts on the call. As Micah Kersey looks on, the only coach that Halifax has had since they moved here from Rochester in 2019. So on the power play, the Rush with it, leading at 5-4. Mans at the top. Little fake, hangs on to it. Over the far shooter position, Church with a pump fake, goes up and over, and Anderson picks up the loose ball, gets it to Keenan. Big shot there, going low was Mans. Over and back, and Halifax gets a bit of a break there. We'll get the ball back. Trying to kill off some time here on the penalty kill.
Saskatchewan 2 for 3 coming into this power play here. So dynamic, so many great options. They spin the ball well, and their power play is kind of an embodiment of what their offense is. As you get the moving pick call here, Dawson Theet's got to be careful. As I'm saying that's going to be delay a game.
So a great opportunity now for the Rush to work a 5-on-3.
Halifax, number 51, 2 minutes, delay game.
Yeah, you called it, Pat. Absolutely. We'll take another peek.
Ball's dropped there, and Dawson Theet doesn't give Bobby Kidd enough space or time with that quick reset. Micah Kersey talked a lot about in the offseason and leading to this game, the compounding penalties, the avoidable ones. That certainly looked like one to me.
Mans, Church, Shanks down to the crease. Comes back here for Church. Church to the top again. Mans shoots. Oh, big stop. Warren Hill. Rebound. Full 30 for the Rush to work with here. Church fires. Another stop. Rebound. Keenan shoots. Oh my goodness. Warren Hill's putting on a clinic here on this Rush power play. Wow.
They say your best penalty killer usually is your goalie. And that's the case there. Countless save after save after save.
And they are chanting King of the Hill here after those spectacular stops by Warren Hill. Way up in the air it goes. Tarafinkel just ran out of options there and decided just to try and kill some time airborne. And now the Rush here up the other way. Still a 5-on-3, although they'll just basically play it as a 4-on-3 here. Backhand feed down to the crease. Here's Mann shooting, standing tall, Warren Hill. Full 30 though, reset for the Rush to work with here. Just stepping into the crease. In behind, that's a break for the Birds.
And a much needed break for Warren Hill. 10 Beller after 10 Beller. Get some kilo into the kid. He's deserved a water break, a liquid break. We deserve a break too, Pete. We'll be back on ESPNU.
Well, coming up next, we'll send you to Ball Arena in Denver for the second game of our doubleheader. Two of the top goal scorers in the NLL lead their teams, Will Malcolm and the Mammoth host Shane Jackson and the Swarm, which should be a great one. Hey, let's send it downstairs once again. Mackie Jenner. Mackie?
Well, the saying goes, one chapter ends and one starts once again, and that's the story of Zach Manns. A blockbuster trade happened in July of 2023 where the Rush shipped out Mark Matthews and in return got Zach Manns, Adam Jay, and a first-round pick. Now, since joining the Rush, every facet of Manns' game has grown. Co-head coach Jimmy Quinlan said he doesn't even realize how good he can be in this league. He's willing to learn new systems and do the work. He commands the ball when he's at his best and can beat anyone one-on-one with his feet. We saw someone tremendously gifted when he was in Toronto. He needed an opportunity. We gave it to him. He's done the work and now he's running with it. We'll have to see if he can capitalize, if the Rush can get the ball back here, as he's already got one in this game so far.
All right, thank you, Mackie. 5-4 here for Zach Manns and his Rush. That's a great move by Tarasenko to get through two Rush defenders. Coming out of the box is going to be Graham Hossack. Hossack over to Bomberry. And here comes Clark Peterson. Peterson working one-on-one, but that whistle down. Was it a moving pick?
It was. They're going to call that a moving pick. But almost just enough done here for Halifax. About 10 seconds left in this man advantage. It's not often, Pete, you see a 5-on-3 penalty killed completely.
And that was for a lot of time, too. That was a good chunk of change, and they did it. Back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Deed was hoping for a breakaway. Here's a shot. That is blocked as Hossack got in front of that one. Withers comes in. He'll scoop up the loose ball. And here comes Jake Withers. Withers thought about going to the goal. There's a shot. Chiliano with the stick save. No rebound there. And here's Jared Smith. As Smith makes his way inside Halifax territory. He'll head to the bench after passing it off to Robert Church. And Church against Tyson Bell. Church unloads it over the far side. Keenan looking, hanging on to it. Little swim move. Keenan still with it. And a penalty coming up here. That was a little on the aggressive side, although the Rush saying, well, wasn't that bad? But I think we're going to see a Halifax power play back.
That is two big bodies colliding. Levi Anderson throws that hard pick. As we'll get a look right here. Nungo Thompson runs shoulder down. Oh my goodness. What a collision. But again, talked a lot about focus calls. That is one of the focus calls. The illegal picks, the illegal body contact. And we might get a review for 5 minutes here, Pete.
Saskatchewan, major penalty that's under review.
Good call, yeah. As crew chief Chris Williams fills us in, but yeah, that was, I know it's the season for forgiving. That may have been too big of a delivery there.
Jimmy Quinlan taking a look at the Jumbotron here inside the building. You can hear the oohs and ahs from the Halifax faithful. And once again, another great look at our NLL official review system. Take a look, see number 88. Nungo Thompson in a vulnerable position, shoulder down, feet not planted. That's the other important thing as he drives up. You can see that arm moving. What they're going to take a look at, no doubt, like this is going to be at minimum 2 minutes. They're not taking this back completely. Although with this rule that was put in place a couple years ago, you can rescind a penalty. Is it the head? Shoulder on head is something that they're going to look. You can see that forearm drives forward as well, Pete.
Well, they made their decision. We'll see what the call is going to be here.
5 minutes, illegal body check.
It stays at 5. Well, a great opportunity here for Halifax to not only tie it up, but maybe take the lead here. Jimmy Quinlan wants a further explanation here.
Derek Keegan and Wood as well, both co-coaches for this Rush team. a great dynamic. You've got the all-time coached games bench boss with Jimmy Quinn, one of the up-and-coming bright minds of the game.
Here's Theed. Theed moves it over. Peterson pumps, shoots, got blocked, comes right back to Theed. Theed over to Randy Stotts. Stotts with a nifty move. There's a shot off the post. Bomberry tries to get loose here. He's tangled up. And it's eventually going to be rush ball as they try and kill off a 5-minute major here. As the ball is played here by Matt Hosick. And Matt to Zawada. As Graham Hosick looks on as he keeps an eye on Zawada here. Almost a beauty feed right there as Haley kind of snuck in but couldn't take the pass. And here's Graham Hosick. Hosick to Theed. He'll slow it down. He's got plenty of time here on the shot clock. And of course the 5-minute major just nicely underway. There's still just under 4 minutes left in that one. Comes over here. Randy Stotts behind the net to Jamieson to Theed. Back here, Stotts. Stotts to Theed. Theed comes in. Fake shoots. Oh, far side, just missing. Bomberry doing his best to get it back. And it's eventually scooped up here by the Thunderbirds. Fans applauding the second effort there of Clark Peterson. Peterson at the top. Over to Randy Stotts. Stotts backhand pass. The Jamieson shot goes off the iron. And a full 30 as a result. Theed. Peterson. Theed to Jamieson. Jamieson took a look, decided to pass it to Theed. Theed. Peterson backhand feed. Stotts fakes, hangs on, now fires one, rips one. That caught a piece of the net. Now here's a partial breakaway, a full breakaway. Hustling in, trying to take it away. There's a shot coming and a save by Warren Hill. As Wilson came hot off the bench and maybe put a little heat there on Hosick. Power play continues. Theed to Stotts. Moves it here to Cody Jamieson. Theed, Bomberry, shot coming. Never made its way through, but it does find the stick of Dawson Theed. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Backhand feed. Stotts got a fire one. There's a shot. Chiliano with the save. And a nice loose ball picked up here by the Rush. Hosick got to be exhausted at this point, but he does track the ball down, and he'll slow it down. So far, so good, Pat, for the Rush. Penalty kill. We're almost down to a minor. Church try to feed it through. Here's Tyson Bell going for a jog. Bell drops it. And they'll slow it down a little bit. Terefenko scoops it up after dropping it. Still with it. Finds an open man. Theed shoots. Oh, great save. Chiliano off the arm. Bell gets it. Bell shoots. Another stop by Chiliano. Ball goes up and out of play. Halftime is coming up. Brought to you by The Game. And we'll look at some of the highlights. Probably a lot of saves coming up for sure. Got a couple dandy goals here tonight. So we'll get into that and some New Year's resolutions. We'll find out what Pat wants to see more of in 2026. And Maggie, I might throw one in there as well. And The Game interview is also coming up here at half. We got ourselves a good one in the Maritimes tonight. We're back here next on ESPNU. Well, welcome back to Halifax. A great crowd on hand here tonight. Pretty much a sellout here in downtown Halifax, which is great to see. And what a night so far for a youngster out of Barrie, Ontario. Having himself a night here, Pat, helping Saskatchewan get out to a pretty good start here.
Well, they always say you remember your first, but how about remaining your first and your second? First 2 career goals for Matt Accioni, and they're absolute beauties in transition. I said it before, Accioni is the embodiment of what Rush lacrosse is all about. Hard work, determination, speed, and oh yeah, a little skill to boot. Hard pump, fake, and finish through the 5-hole for Accioni. gets a feed from the first one, but this time it's an individual effort. Picks up the loose ball, puts it through the wickets for the 5-hole. A great start for the Rush, especially in transition. They're really running the ball well.
What a great night for him so far. And the guy that he's beat twice, though, has been spectacular as well. We talked about Warren Hill in the opening, and man, he's come up with some huge saves so far here tonight.
I'll be honest, Pete, this should be a much different scoreline if it wasn't for the play of Warren Hill. He has really kept this Halifax team in. I go back to thinking that 5-on-3, the two-man advantage, he was unbelievable. Stop after stop. He's made the stops that he has to make. He's also made the stops that he probably has no business in making as well. A really slow start offensively, defensively, and transition, to be honest, for Halifax. I know Mike Kersey's probably not going to be really pleased with that effort. The one guy he's got to be pleased with, though, is Warren Hill.
Absolutely, as we take a look here, Pat, now at some of the numbers here in the first half.
Well, how about that face-off battle between the two Jakes? The Jake-off, but it's Naso who has the better 6-5 so far.
It's been a good one so far. I think the second half should be as good, if not better. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some of our wishes for 2026. You're watching the NLL on ESPNU. Halifax, we got ourselves a tight one here tonight, 5-4 after the first half. It's Pete Dalladay, Pat Gregoire, and Mackie Jenner, and we are just a couple nights away from the big New Year's Eve and a whole new year, 2026, just around the corner. It's time to make some New Year's resolutions. And we're going to start downstairs with Mackie Jenner, who I know wants to talk a little bit about Oshawa. Mackie, what are your thoughts on Oshawa and what you want to see more of in 2026?
Yeah, that's right. And guys, look, I struggle to stay on track with consistency sometimes in the new year, but I'm hoping that Oshawa can do a little bit better than I can when it comes to consistency, and that's goal scoring. Oshawa only has 21 across 4 games played. Look, I'm not that great at math, but 5.25 goals per game is not good enough for a team with the NLL's last 2 Rookie of the Years in Dyson Williams and Alex Simmons. And then you've got lethal goal scorers in Ethan Walker, Ty Kurtz. On paper, the offensive prowess of this group is exceptional, and we know that they want to get back to the playoffs like they did 2 years ago. They made it to the finals back in 2024. It's not for a lack of effort, but guys, they got to get more points on the board, and we know that goals are down around the league as we're seeing a defensive grudge match here tonight, but for Oshawa, they got to get back on track when it comes to scoring the goal.
All right, thank you, Mackie. I know one thing I'm looking forward to in Oshawa, your sort of stomping grounds, is hearing and seeing our pals Dan Malta and Scott Arnold taking over as the voice there pretty soon as well. So we're looking forward to those guys. As far as you are concerned, Pat, you got some ideas as well. What are you looking for in 2026?
Well, we always hear when the calendars turn, new year, new me. Well, for the Georgia Swarm, I think they got to actually look new year, old Lyle Thompson, because what we're seeing down in Georgia is simply mind-boggling. The former league MVP is off to his worst start of his career, one of the worst 3-game stretches dating back to his rookie season. He's averaging just over his career 5 points per game, Pete. Through his first 3 games, just 2. This is simply just crazy when you think of Lyle Thompson, one of the best players in the game. We know, okay, listen, not hitting the panic button here at all, Pete, but if Georgia wants to get in the postseason, their guy Lyle has to heat up, and sooner rather than later.
Right. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn, and I'm gonna say maybe some more goalie fights in 2026. And I'm not talking every week. You know, that might be a little much and nothing staged. But how about this one, Pat? Last week, Rylan Hartley, Nick Demood going at it. This went viral. You had to have seen it somewhere. It was unbelievable, whether it be Sports Center, all the lacrosse feeds. One for the ages, for sure. What do you think? Are you on board or not?
It was awesome. Even the Kachuk brothers on their podcast broke it down. It was all over the place. But like you said, let's keep it organic. Let's not have these scheduled fights. But those two guys clearly had some bad blood boiling, and they called upon their own numbers and said, all right, let's settle the score.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, speaking of the score, it's 5-4 here. We're back with more of the half. Coming up right after this, it's ESPNU. All right, welcome back to Halifax as we take a look around the NLL, and Philadelphia down 4-0 right now in Ottawa tonight in Canada's capital. Big night so far for Connor Kiernan with a goal, 2 assists. Jeff Teat, as always, off to a good start. 1 goal and 1 assist for Teat so far. 4-0 Ottawa just underway. Vegas, Toronto 1-1. And of course, as we mentioned, later tonight, Georgia, Colorado. Tomorrow, Buffalo and Calgary should be a good one. Hey, let's continue on. Here's Mackie Jenner with Randy Stotts for the game interview.
All right, Randy, we knew that Saskatchewan was a good team in transition. They've got a few so far. What's key to slowing them down in the next half?
I think just controlling the ball on offense and making sure we're getting all our guys off the floor so we can stop that transition.
We know coming into this game it was going to be a defensive grudge match. What's key for you offensively to try to get a few more possessions and find the back of the net here?
Well, I think the biggest thing is staying out of the box. We had probably 8 penalties that half, and that's not going to help us offensively. It seems like when we get into a rhythm, we're in the box. So I think staying out of the box and keeping composed.
Thank you, and good luck in the second.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mackie. Thank you, Randy, as well as Pat is back in the booth after signing a few autographs down after our time in the perch.
Get out of here.
Great crowd, though, here as the Rush make their way back onto the field. Close to 10,000, if not maybe a couple others snuck in here tonight for a great time to play a lacrosse game as well. And there's a long-time bird right there.
Yeah, super fan indeed. It seems like every game he just grows a new accessory. Now he's got the drum, he had the cowbell. It's great to see the game of lacrosse growing on the East Coast. Not just the fanfare for the Thunderbirds, we're also seeing the growth of the game in junior lacrosse, minor lacrosse, and a lot of it has to do with the arrival of the Thunderbirds since day one, embracing this franchise with open arms. But now we're seeing the fruits of the labor, seeing some young growth in the youth level as well. And I know friend and teammate Mackie Jenner, a big reason of that as well, coaching as well.
Absolutely, she's doing a great job here on the East Coast. Clark Peterson is here living in Market and doing a lot of community outreach as well. And other great cities around the league as well. Everything seems to be growing, which is great. And you're heading west in a couple weeks, Pat. You're going to be out to Edmonton.
Yeah, looking forward to that, the second Unbox game, but this time heading out west to Edmonton, that beautiful Rogers Center Arena, Rogers Place. It's going to be great. Sounds like ticket sales are starting to heat up. I heard rumblings that Santa was stuffing some stockings with some tickets. Should be a dandy, just like this one.
100%. All right, so we start the second half with Halifax down a goal, but with a minute 35 remaining in a power play. As Withers gets the ball here, it's Hosick to Cody Jamieson. He shoots, he scores! 8 seconds into the third quarter. The captain has his second of the night. And this game is tied.
Off the face-off, Withers battles, grinds, wins it back to Hosick. Hosick finds the captain, Cody Jamieson, who deposits that one in the back of the net. A perfect execution of an odd man rush off the face-off.
Still a lot of fans weren't back in their seats with their Thunderbirds. Still getting back, that's how quick that one was. Here they come looking for another one. As Tarafinkel will slow it down. Kicks it to Dawson Thede.
Keep in mind, still up a man advantage. Levi Anderson still in the sin bin.
5-minute major, has a minute left in it. Jamieson out in front. Kicked by Bomberry. Here's a shot. Chiliano with the save. Off Thede. Jake Boudreau cradling the ball as he makes his way inside Halifax territory. Warren Hill now down to our right for this third quarter. 30 seconds left in the 5-minute major. 9 on the shot clock. And here's Mans. Mans shooting a bouncer, but Hill making the save. It's caught in the gear for a second, and now it's taken here by the Birds. They want to hurry up here to try and get one more on the man advantage. Tied at 5. Clark Peterson to Dawson Theed. Jameson for the hat trick. There it is. There's the shot, but Chiliano says no, sir, and shuts the door. And that will do it. Anderson out of the box, and it's back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Tied at 5. Rush looking to get back the lead. Quick shot right there, but a bouncer, little too much loft on that one, goes up and out of play. And Halifax will get it back. Tarafanko's had the ball a lot in his stick tonight. Passes it off, gets it to Mike Robinson, to Dawson Theed. Theed making his way in. Theed stops, looking for an open man. He's going to find Bomberry. And Bomberry coming in. Got a little room, shoots. He saw a small space there, tried to go 5-hole on Chiliano, but Chiliano making the save, and the rush up the other way.
A much better start here for Halifax. Defensively, offensively, all together, a much better effort to start this quarter. As we know, 60 minutes, something every team is trying to accomplish each and every week.
Church shoots up high, and Warren Hill with the save. The ball goes up and out of play, and a souvenir for a fan coming in from Peggy's Cove to take this one in tonight.
A dead ball foul coming here for Nungo Thompson. Simon D'Souza with the call down on the floor.
2 minutes, dead ball foul.
We heard Randy Stotts tell our own Mackie Jenner that they have to stay out of the box. Discipline is killing this team, and has killed this team in years past. When they stay out of the penalty box, there is no denying they're the one of the most dangerous teams in the NLL to face with.
Big stop, and now it's Tyson Bell. Bell making his way slowly, just waiting for everyone to get into position, and hits the ball here. And it's played by Clark Peterson. Peterson with Bomberry. Now back to Peterson. 148 career goals going into this one. See if he can get hot here in the second half. Peterson with it. Peterson with a couple big bodies on him, including Mike Messenger. The ball is scooped down the other way. 1:25 left in the penalty. Keenan having a night here tonight as well. A couple big points for him, and he'll get it to Mans at the top. Mans gets it right back. Sends it back to the top. Swings it back a second time. Looking to get it to Keenan. Takes it off the glass. Keenan. Quick stick. Mans scores. Zach Mans on the power play. And they cash in.
This power play has been absolutely lethal. At a 50% clip now on the evening. This is off a loose ball. We're going to see a skip feed from Church. You got to respect Church. One of the best right-handed outside shooters in the game. Graham Hossick comes off his post, leaves Zach Mans, which is something that you cannot do. He quick sticks his second goal of the game, regains the lead for the Rush.
Rush leading now 6-5. After Halifax tied it up. The starts just seconds into the second half. Here's Randy Stotts. Stotts, as they'll move it here. Robinson, Bomberry, Stotts, looking, shooting, scores! Randy Stotts. And just like that, this game is tied. It's 6-6.
Like a shark in water, smelling blood, Randy Stotts attacks. Gonna use his big frame, frees up enough space for himself, creates his own shot, and again, down low on Frank Chiliano, changing the plane from high to low. Stotts recognizes and capitalizes.
Draw one by the rush. Boudreau. Bit of a dangerous pass. He recovers though, gets the ball back. He'll get it to Keenan, who was coming off the bench, and he'll move it a little deeper for Ryan Barnable. And Barnable, here's Mans, shooting off the iron. Loose ball, Hasek, scooping, going, Hasek shovels it on goal, and Chiliano with the save. This place would have erupted if Hasek had slid that one in. Rush quickly up the other way.
Halifax bench wanted a call there on Hasek. After that, they're not going to get it, but they might get a chance again in transition.
Good defensive play by Tyson Bell with a good stick. Terafenko, he drops it. Clark Peterson comes in. Peterson running out of room, so he takes it in behind the crease and gets it to Cody Jamieson. Here's Stotts looking for another one. Backhand feed, broken up by the rush. Looking for a bounce. There's a chance, and Hill makes the save. He covers it up. Warren Hill, my goodness. Another big stop by the man they call the king here in Halifax.
Sitting on his throne atop of Citadel Hill, Warren Hill has been as advertised, standing on his head here on ESPNU.
Well, the NLL returns to Edmonton as Lyle Thompson and the Swarm host the Roughnecks for the league's second annual NLL Unbox Series event. Head to Ticketmaster.ca to get your tickets now. You're mentioning you're excited for that one. That should be a great one, Pat.
That should be.
Look at this. What do we got here? Well, we have 10,595 fans selling out the Nest here tonight.
Unbelievable. Packed to the gills here on the East Coast. Breaking news, Pete. Halifax confirmed a lacrosse city.
100%. It's rock and roll night here in Halifax. Home of rock band Sloan. You're a fan of them, I'm pretty sure. The Stanfields, a little kind of Celtic rock.
Absolutely.
They count. And they're having a good time here tonight in downtown Halifax. Here's Peterson. Peterson over to the far side. Robinson scores! Magic Mike. And you know what that means? It's a 6-7 game. 6-7, Patty.
Oh, no!
Sorry, I had to. Mike Robinson, the Peterborough native, gives the Birds the lead.
The Delaware Blue Hen puts his defender Mike Messenger on skates. And this is exactly what we saw in his field prowess. Little dodge, shot on the run, and again beating Frank Chiliano down low. Kids are gonna love that goal, Pete. Kids are gonna love that goal call even more.
Here's Robinson, he stays out there. Gets the ball to Jason Knox. Knox, he shoots a bouncer wide. And it comes all the way back, and Robinson gets it right back. Here's Cody Jamieson. Jamieson tried to feed Knox, who was heading to the top of the crease, and there's gonna be a penalty called here. 9:04 left here in the third, and Halifax up by 1. And they will go on a power play as we'll get the call here.
Saskatchewan penalty, 43, 2 minutes holding.
We'll get a look right here, Pete. Yep, draped all over Knox. It's almost like a pass interference play in football. Just lob the ball up there, draw the penalty.
Jamieson, Peterson shooting. A good look. Peterson picks up the loose ball here in the corner. Desperately trying to get it here. Bomberry comes in to help out. May have slipped on the ball, and he pops back up. And what a recovery by Bomberry. Bomberry down. Knox. Bomberry shoots. And that was wide. Comes right back into the crease, and Chiliano will settle it down a little bit before moving it ahead. A good play here by Barnable to grab it.
Heads up play from Chiliano as well, just to get it out to open space. Karams off the board into Barnable's stick.
Zach Mans into Haley. Sets a little pick, little extra room right there. Comes over, quick shot, never made its way through, blocked, and Tyson Bell will chase after it here. And we have 1:02 left in the power play here for the Thunderbirds. Looking to go 3-0 after starting last year the opposite way.
And think about last year, that major comeback against the Firewolves kind of sparked their season down 3-0 down in that game.
Jamison back and forth here with Stotts. Backhand feet out front, shot knocks. Is denied by Frank Chiliano.
I mean, we've been talking about how good Warren Hill has been.
Backhand, and there's a big save by Hill.
For good
You were
reason.
saying?
For good reason, like saves like that. But Chiliano's come up with some big ones as well. Denies Knox on the crease. Looks like Halifax going to go with a lefty strong look. Cody James, as I spoke too soon, going to go back to Peterson, quarterback in the top.
Peterson with it, fakes. Now Jamison across, Stotts shoots. And that is stopped by Chiliano off him in a full reset here for the Thunderbirds with 4 seconds left in their power play.
You can see Halifax's bench saying, don't force it, hold it. Do not want to give Boudreau an open look.
Back to 5-on-5 as Boudreau comes right in and on the play. Robinson lost it, tries to get it back, but picked up here. And up the floor they go as Boudreau will play it. Still out there, heads to the net, passes it off, shot goes wide. And a loose ball along the near boards will be taken here by Halifax. Hossack looking for an open man off the bench, decides not to get it to Randy Stotts, instead gets it over here to Knox.
Pete, no damage done there, but Halifax has to do a much better job getting off the floor. They are getting cooked in transition. These athletes out the back door have had so many opportunities on the fast break.
Here's Peterson, Robinson from way out again, but Chiliano makes the stop. That's the spot that Mike Robinson loves to shoot. Got some good zip on that, but Frank Chiliano making the save. Rush now, looking to tie things up. Down a goal here. Under 6 to go in the third. Keenan with it. Lots of ball movement here. Haley setting a pick. He rolled. Wasn't open enough for the feed. Mans has it. And they run out of time. And Halifax earns the right to get the ball back after the 30 expired.
Defensive coach and coaches Andrew Suter and Roger Kleisner are gonna love that defensive stand. Not even a shot on goal. Not even a shot at target, Pete.
I don't like that one. You're absolutely right. That was perfect defense. Knox drops it. Stotts doing his best to try and keep it in. Just can't do so. They're not going to like that as much.
Oh, right idea. Love the flip pass, but you got to be a little more crisp. Get back to the fundamentals, but we know the green light is shining bright when it comes to some of the fancy stuff for this T-Birds offense.
Here come the rush. It's going to be Anderson. Anderson's swim move, some good D though again by the Thunderbirds. Anderson finding some space, shoots and hits another post. It's the Post Malone show at times here tonight. Penalty coming up against the Birds. There goes Chiliano for the extra runner. Plenty of time on the shot clock. They have 18 to work with here if they want it. Church, backhand feed down to the crease to the near side. Anderson, back to Keenan. Shot coming, they score! On the delayed call. And Austin Shanks is on the board. The former Thunderbird ties it up at 7.
New team, old Shanks in his office right from that flank spot on the elbow. Perfectly precise in the upper 50, right in the corner. Warren Hill with absolutely no chance, as that's a beauty floater from Shanks.
7-7 your score with just over 4.5 to go. What's been a fantastic lacrosse game here tonight. And it's far from being over. These two teams are no strangers to playing the odd overtime game against each other as well. Gioni, he's having a night. Heads off to the bench in the rush, looking to take back the lead in front of over 10,500 here tonight. Here's a shot. Warren Hill, he's down. He makes the save. Keeps it tied at 7s. As Church will take a break, and we will as well. We're deadlocked 7 apiece. As Warren Hill and the Thunderbirds hit a good one tonight against the Rush here on ESPNU. Well, coming up next, we'll send you to Ball Arena in Denver for the second game of our doubleheader. 2 of the top goal scorers in the NLL lead their teams. Will Malcolm and the Mammoth hosting Shane Jackson and the Swarm. Our second game of our doubleheader here on ESPNU and wherever you're watching the game tonight. I know where you're going to be enjoying a post-game bowl of chowder after this one. You'll be watching that one, Patrick.
Absolutely, we'll get that up and dialed. And then tomorrow we got some ESPN2 action from Cowtown.
The Bandits in town. Here's Jamieson. Randy Stotts. Stotts loses it and then takes a shortcut to try and work around Boudreau. Scoops it out towards the crease, but it goes right into the stick of Chiliano, and the Rush will get the ball back. Yeah, some great games this weekend. Kudos to the schedule maker, because there's some good ones on tap, including this one right here. Playoff rematch from earlier this spring at the Rush, won in dramatic fashion. As they look to take an 8-7 lead, here's Keenan. Keenan to the top, shot on goal, and Warren Hill down, makes the save. Tyson Bell quickly up to Ryan Terafenko. He'll just wait right here and get the ball in for Bomberry. Brendan Bomberry to Clark Peterson. Jamieson. Here's a nice look, a shot, a heavy one too by Robinson, but off the mark. Here comes a chance now down the near side for the Rush to set it up.
Would have loved Robinson to continue moving his feet.
Out in front, Hill with the stop, and the rebound picked up by Colton Armstrong. Armstrong in transition. He comes in, Armstrong shoots, and that got blocked, and an easy save for Chiliano to make because his defender out front got most of it. Barnable. He comes up the other way, hit by Armstrong, and then knocked down a little more right there by Romanchuk. Curtis Romanchuk going about a quiet game on the back end, but that's a good thing sometimes for a defender. Now here come the Thunderbirds again. Under 2 to go in the quarter. Thompson to Stotts. Randy Stotts waiting. He wants somebody to get in the spot here and sends it back. Just coming off the bench, grabbing it is Robinson. Robinson in for Dawson Theed. Theed here, Bomberry shoots, and just missing. Bomberry was looking for the 8th of the night for the Thunderbirds. Rush now down inside Halifax territory. They'll get their offensive weapons out there, including the captain, Ryan Keenan. Over to the far side. Shanks looking for another one. Finds some open space before he gets it to Anderson. Anderson comes in, fires on goal, and Warren Hill has faced 41 shots now. Makes the save.
Not a single settled 5-on-5 goal against either. Be 2 in transition, 1 extra attacker, and the rest on the man advantage.
Peterson, great pass, a twister, and Bomberry denies. Chiliano is down after a spectacular stop, the net off, and the play continues. He'll put that back into position. That's the beauty of lacrosse. Goalies just put the nets back. They're good that way. You don't see that in a lot of other sports, Pat.
You don't see saves like that
No,
in a lot
you
of
don't.
other sports either. Frank Giuliano, are you kidding me?
Here's Keenan rolling. Shanks tries to get it to Anderson, eventually does, but they're going to run out of time. And for the second time this quarter, the Halifax Thunderbirds preventing even a shot on the possession, and now things are heating up here in the nest. Max Wilson having some words.
There you go. Let cooler heads prevail. Stick up for your teammate.
So the net is empty with only 10 seconds left in the quarter. Halifax playing for the final shot. Here's Peterson. Peterson, 4 seconds left on the game clock. And it's going to be a last second effort, but way wide, a little late by the Rush. And no shocker here. These two teams are tied after 3 quarters of play. 7-7 Halifax, Saskatchewan, and we are back to the Maritimes coming up next here on ESPNU. Tomorrow night on ESPN2 and the ESPN app at the Saddledome in Calgary. Dane Smith leads the Bandits against Tyler Pace and the Roughnecks. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern. Another fantastic game on tap.
Might be a little bit of a goal-a-palooza with both those two offenses going toe-to-toe on Sunday Funday lacrosse. But that man right there has done a good job shutting the door time and time again, Pete. He has been outstanding. Talked about it off the top, though. A lot of doubters, a lot of naysayers. Not really sure if Warren Hill has the juice to be a legitimate number one of a team to win a championship. I know it's early, very early to be, but through 3 games, he has been outstanding, and he's been great here tonight, 35 stops. And it's not just the number of saves, it's been the quality. Quality over quantity, or if you want to go to quantity, quality as well. Time and time again, a lot of chances in transition, a lot of chances on top of his crease. His number's been called a lot, and he's come up big to the occasion.
Certainly has, and here we go. 4th quarter is underway. We'll see if Hill is tested here early in the quarter as the Rush will get the ball, and they'll set it up. Robert Church with it. Church being watched by Hosick and Bell. Now it's fed into the far corner, back to Church again. Church with Bell on him. Here's Shanks with a shot. That is blocked. And then Shanks will get it back. Hosick thought he had it for a second. And then Hosick knocks Shanks' stick out of his hand. And here comes a chance here out in front. Oh, Stotts couldn't grab it, but now he does. Randy Stotts with it. 7-7 here to start the 4th. Dawson Theed, who opened the scoring. Will he give the Thunderbirds the lead? Yes, he does! He doesn't need a stick when it's all said and done. Theed has given the Birds the lead.
Dawson Theed, a true throwback. You just don't see men this big, this strong, move this well. Great hard pick set from Knox, but Theed uses his raw strength and ability, and of course his precision shooting to throw that bouncer to confirm the reports that bouncers do go, Pete.
Once again, more proof indeed. As the loose ball off the draw, Withers gets it to Terafenko. Here's Mike Robinson. Robinson, member of the MSL Peterborough Lakers in the summertime, gets the ball here for Randy Stotts. Stotts shoots. He just missed. Rush get it back. Messenger coming in. Always dangerous. There's the pass. There's the shot. There's the goal of beauty by the Rush. And just like that, tied at 8. Eight's all around there on that one.
Back and forth we go, Pete, like a heavyweight bout, exchanging knockout blows. But neither of these contestants are going down Messenger in transition, finds Keenan sneaking on the back door, puts that one home.
That captain coming up clutch there. And once again, this game is tied. Withers and Naso on the draw. Jake Withers, the former Ontario High School wrestler. That's why he's so good down low on the draws. He's credited that as part of the reason why he's one of the best there ever has been in terms of draws. Here's Robinson. Once again, trying to give the Thunderbirds the lead. Feed to Robinson. Robinson, pass intended for Peterson, off the mark, and it's played by Chiliano. Quickly up here for Matt Hosick, as the Port Perry, Ontario native. Doesn't have to face his brother right now. He's got to face Johnny Pearson, who's off to a great start to his season this year. Little fake, and it's going to be played here by Zawada. Haley moves it across. Keenan looking for more. Keenan, what a pass over to the near side, and the bouncer goes wide. And the Rush will run out of time. Mans did his best, but he'll just have to roll the ball into the corner.
Yeah, Keenan certainly feeling himself here tonight. 5 points on the evening, but that might have been his best move. I know he doesn't come away with any points there. What an unreal feed from Keenan.
Cody Jamieson. Jamieson, Halifax's captain, having a nice night here tonight as well. Here's Theed, looking for a hat trick possibility here. Theed bounces off a check, shoots on the run. Crowd of bodies out in front. Jamieson keeps the play alive. However, the play is whistled down. And we have another holding call of some sort here, Pat.
Halifax number 51, 2 minutes holding.
Another holding penalty, another penalty for the Thunderbirds. As transition offense, he gets tied up there. I guess the helmet, I mean, maybe not a hold, maybe a rough, I don't know. Nonetheless, gonna sit down for 2 or less, and said it time and time again, Pete. Special teams and transition offense has killed the Thunderbirds here tonight.
That is fair. Here's Keenan. Comes across, Church to the top. Zach Mans, Church shoots, he scores on the power play. Just took 16 seconds, and it's 9-8 Saskatchewan.
The mantra of the Rush's offense last year, and it's leaking into this year, is everybody eats. Everyone gets theirs. And this time it's Robert Church, who has scored about a zillion goals in his lacrosse career in junior, in the pro ranks, in summer ball, whatever. But if you give that man that much time and space, he is going to make you pay.
That he did, as the Rush up by 1. Boudreau off the draw. He's going to find an open man. Here's Garland. Little fake, hangs on to it. Now a little bounce pass over, and Anderson will play. He's on the left side of the floor. He'll make his way over to the far side. Zawada with it. Zawada out in front. Here's a chance, and oh my goodness. If that caught a piece of the post, if Warren Hill got that, well, mark that down as yet another big stop. So close to taking a 10-8 lead and getting into double digits. They did get some time back on the clock here. Shot coming, a bouncer, Haley. Officials will discuss who this went off of. They both agree, okay. Off the Thunderbirds, and a reset here for the Rush.
I think that went off the spoon, the stick of Warren Hill.
He's faced 46 shots so far here tonight, says the ball's played here by Zach Mans. Mans in for Keenan. And it's going to be pass here to the near side, far side. Mans snuck in there. Shot goes wide on the far side. Zawada let that one go. Wilson ahead. Hossack along here with Terefenko. Terefenko will get the ball into Clark Peterson. He's due for one maybe here in the fourth. Keep your eyes on 24 from Halifax out in front, and Veed says that should be a penalty. And the play is whistled down. That's going to be holding the stick call.
And that, no doubt, should be a penalty, Pete. As he's still having a discussion here with Simon D'Souza.
Saskatchewan penalty, 2 minutes, holding the stick.
And that gets a nice round from the faithful here in Halifax. We'll take another peek.
Yeah, this one here, you can't dispute it, as there goes the stick of Feed. That's probably a penalty where you're a little bit frustrated there if you're Jimmy Quinlan, but at the same time, you might have just saved a goal there. We know Dawson Feed is deadly from the inside.
Feed's got the ball right now to the top of the power play for Clark Peterson. They play catch back and forth. Feed stepping in. Peterson backhand pass. Oh, not quite in the wheelhouse for Stotts. He just couldn't reach it. Gets it back. Stotts. What a pass. Feed fakes back to Stotts. Stotts across. Jamison. He'll try and grab it. Only 4 seconds though left on the shot clock. And the ball is being kicked around the corner. Almost disappeared there for a second. 9:47 left here in the fourth quarter. It is a 9-8 Rush lead. We're back to the Maritimes coming up right after this. The NLL on ESPNU is brought to you by Kilo. Stay energized for every moment of NLL action with Kilo. Visit drinkkilo.com. And by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Yeah, that's the way to go for sure if you're looking for some tickets to an upcoming game. Those people right there, they got some tickets. Toughest ticket in town by the looks of it there.
I'm sure there was some tickets purchased off of there because it was tough to get a seat in this barn here tonight.
And they have been entertained to a fantastic game with plenty of time left. Just over 9.5 to go. The visitors up by 1. First of a home-and-home series. Gotta love that. They'll go right back at it again. Out west. Here's Mans shooting a bouncer that goes high. And Hossack goes up and over the glass. And one of those 10,595 fans grabs it.
One of those 10,000 plus fans as well. Halifax Moosehead legend J.S. Jaguar in the building.
Yes, sir. Speaking of great goaltending, he's seen a good one here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Feed coming in. Feed trying to bounce it through. Loose ball taken here. Messenger. He'll get it over center quickly. Just slowing it down, just kind of walking it in. 20 on the shot clock, so some time, but they want to get something going here, and just he's fine though to waste some time on the penalty clock. No pressure really. Now a little bit by Thompson. Messenger now gets the play going. Drops it. Little fake shot, and Ward Hill forced to make a nice save there off his former teammate Austin Shanks. Shanks has one, scored earlier in this half, and now the ball taken out in front. Bomberry looks for it, and it's scooped up here by the Rush. Making their way down. Goudreau being watched by Knox and chased down. Knox back to play, little D. It's going to be taken here at the top by Zach Mans. See what the Rush come up with here. They'll slide Anderson to the top. He'll swing it over. He was looking for Church, but goes off the glass. Halifax in transition, making their way in. Slowing it down. Roman Chuck, great job there by the former Trent Excalibur. Peterson for Stotts. Randy Stotts bounces off a check. He shoots. He scores. Frame it and name it, because that's goal number 250 for Randy Stotts.
And what a fitting goal for number 250 for 83. A Randy Stotts goal personified. Uses his strength, uses his smarts, and uses his sharp shooting ability. A one-on-one matchup nightmare. He's too strong, he's too smart. He shoots the ball too good.
9-9 with 7:21 to go. Withers, Naso, Withers winning the draw cleanly to Robinson, to Terefenko. Bomberry. Here's Clark Peterson. And Peterson gets a pick from Stotts. Loose ball though in the corner, up for grabs. The Rush do a nice job of retrieving it. And Boudreau will get it ahead. Here's Jared Smith. Smith cradling the ball, looking for an open man. He'll find Austin Shanks. Shanks just waiting. Some movement now. Shanks rolls to the top. There's the pass, went off the top of the stick, off the boards. Bounce pass. Here's Church. Church coming in. He shoots, and Hill on his back. He's got the ball. He makes the save. Graham Hosick now. Hosick. Here's Randy Stotts looking for another one. Mike Robinson. Robinson to Theed. Theed all the way to the far side for Clark Peterson. Peterson coming in. Peterson! And Shiliano. He's got it somewhere back. There it is in the left pad.
Really nice job by Shiliano to stay on his line. Great angle. Basically gives Clark Peterson absolutely nowhere to shoot there.
Billy Kidd the third. And here for Church, he's gonna unload. Oh, big stop again by Ward Hill, one of his best of the night. What a battle for the loose ball. Roman Chuck, he gets it. Thompson is open. He quickly moves it ahead. And here they come. This is played by Terefenko. They'll get into the corner for Stotts. Back and forth with Bomberry. Cody Jamieson. Now it's swung over here to the near side. Knox trying to fight off a check. Knox, there's the pass, there's the shot. Randy Stotts looking for another one there, but now in transition up the other way. Here's Hosick. Hosick coming on against Bell. He shoots and down. Making another stop is Warren Hill. It is rock and roll night tonight, and I know I sound like a broken record, Pat, but Warren Hill just save after save.
Hit after hit.
Hit after hit. Yes. Well, he's got 40, so he's got a top 40 chance. Here's Theed as he looks for another one. 4:46 to go here in this fourth quarter. Buckle up, because we're in for a heck of a finish here, tied at 9. As Warren Hill makes another big stop. We're back after this. Welcome back to Halifax. We hope you're enjoying the game here tonight. Pete Dalladay, Pat Gregoire, and Mackie Jenner with you on this fine night here on the East Coast, and this has not disappointed, Pat. This is all we kind of thought it would be.
It really has. And, you know, you talk about these two teams, some electrifying offensive players on both sides, but really it's been the goaltending and the defense who have stepped up big in big moments. Both these guys, we build it off the top, a battle between two of the best goalies in the business, Shiliano and Hill. They come as advertised. It's not just the amount of saves that they made, Pete, it's the big timely ones to keep their team in the game.
Both with strong nights. And not shocked at all. Two of the best going head to head. As the Rush have it, Shanks sends it in behind the goal. Little fake. Ball comes towards the top. Big shot by Mans, but high. And the Thunderbirds have it. Terefenko gets it over Clark Peterson. And Peterson finds some open space. Penalty coming up here against the Rush. Warren Hill makes the long jog to the bench for the extra attacker here. Feed. Peterson backhand to Stotts. Stotts had it intercepted by the Rush at the crease, but Halifax will take the power play, looking to take the lead.
Too many men. Illegal substitution is the call. So Brock Haley, the in-home, going to serve this for 2 or less. In these close games, Pete, we talked about it. Actually, we were talking about earlier this week with both teams playing so well 5-on-5 defensively. You know, special teams and transition were going to be a key for either team to win. I feel like that's been the case down the stretch here.
So Halifax on the power play. Peterson to Theed. Theed passes it off. Cody Jamieson trying to protect it here, trying to keep it in. Grabs it. What a play by Jamieson. If this results in a goal, it'll be a heck of a play. But to keep that in on this side of center, but will result in not an opportunity, but he gave them a shot. Here's Matt Hossack. Hossack trying to get away from Johnny Pearson, the BC native. As the ball is sent into the far corner, and Zach Mans just kind of casually, just kind of hangs out there a little bit. Now some movement. There's a shot over the top by Church. The fans applauding the effort there of Warren Hill with another stop.
Not just the stop, Pete, the ability to grab that rebound. Do not allow the defense to corral the ball and chew up more time on the man advantage.
Theed with it at the top. Peterson to Stotts. Back to Clark Peterson. Stotts has it. Peterson. Here's Theed. Back to Peterson. Shooting, and Chiliano goes off his gear, up and out of play, and a reset here for the Thunderbirds. 42 to go in the power play. Peterson, Theed. Jamieson got it over. Here's Stotts with a backhand pass. Shot, and Chiliano, another big stop here at the other end. Reset though again, so full 30. Jamieson in for Theed. Stotts fires one. That is stopped, and yet another reset. Stotts fakes, gets it to Theed. Back here to Randy Stotts. Stotts hangs on. He finds Cody Jamieson. Back to Randy. Across. Jamieson behind the net. Tries the dunk. Oh, and that is stopped. Great action all around there. Here's Hossack. Haley out of the box. Takes the ball. Brock Haley. He'll walk it in. Under 2 to go. There's a pass. There's a shot. Another good chance taken away, and the Thunderbirds get the ball. Here they come. Terefenko spins, gets away from a check. Just eats up a little time here. Under 90 seconds left in a 9-9 game. Here's Knox. Knox with Bomberry cutting through. Knox fights his way. Top of the crease. Knox gets away from the check, goes right back in. 5 seconds on the shot clock. To the top. Here's Clark Peterson. Peterson coming in. Peterson stopped as he gets knocked into the crease, and we have action in behind the goal with Cody Jamieson involved there. In the meantime,
got to get off the floor.
Yeah, the play continues down at the other end. They score. As that was all happening, the Rush go up the floor. And Austin Shanks has given the Rush the lead.
From hero to villain, a man that his praises were sung here in Halifax. Look at the chance, one end, big time stop from Chiliano, casually puts up that arm. And Smith's gonna turn it down, and too slow for Halifax. Gotta get off the floor. Jared Smith says, all right, let's go. And a great quick stick feed and an even better finish from Shanks. The former T-Bird stings his former team.
Just lofted it up over the shoulder of Hill.
And just remember, under 2 minutes. Automatic review on goals. What a moment for that man right there. He used to be a fan favorite in this building.
And actually had some big games against the Rush in his day, Pat.
Yeah, no doubt, scoring that overtime winner in year 1. But since switching the purple and orange to the green, black, and white, he has completely done a heel turn here in the Maritimes. I know Halifax was looking for a penalty, the high stick. As there's the quick whistle, also some rough stuff behind the net. Bit of confusion though, Pete. I wasn't sure if there was gonna be a penalty called the other way, but great on Smith for recognizing and saying, all right, we're gonna go. And they're taking a look here, something here. Is it the feet of Shanks? They definitely are seeing something here.
Zooming in at the great technology.
Is it that right foot? Does that go in the crease? It looks like they've got a good enough look. I think this one's gonna stand.
The goal is confirmed. Good goal.
This coming with 1:02 left here in regulation time. The Rush have taken a 10-9 lead. As Jimmy Quinlan looks down, there's Micah Kersey on the other bench. A nail biter here tonight. And Austin Shanks has the go-ahead goal. Big draw here, obviously. Jake Withers against Jake Naso. It's been the battle of the Jakes tonight on the dot here on the X. And here we go. Perhaps the biggest draw of the night. And it's going to be Halifax ball. And Warren Hill is going to jog at least halfway to the bench. Well, hang on, it's been reversed.
Yeah, I think made a mistake withholding on Withers.
So it's Rush ball after all that. Zawada hangs on to it, up 10-9. Down for Keenan in the corner. Halifax trying to keep the Rush to 10 here, get the ball back, and they would get it back with just over 30 seconds left out in front, and it's Church grabbing it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Zawada from way out. Switches up, takes the shot, and Hill with the save. This is a huge rebound, and Hosick will take it. And that will need a timeout call. With under 30 seconds left, 25 and a half to go. What a game here tonight is going to come down right to the wire.
And you know, Pete, if you're Halifax here, you have to gain your composure. I know there's a play in the other end. Peterson feels like should have been a hold, maybe a high stick. Then there's a blown whistle for some of the extracurriculars behind the net. A lot of confusion. Guys not getting off the floor, and instead, you play to the whistle. You always hear that phrase, but down goes the other end. As once again, time and time again in this game, it's been special teams and transition that has been the Achilles heel for Halifax. But now you come up with a stop, 25.6 seconds left on the clock. An opportunity to tie this game up and potentially send it to overtime.
26 seconds.
And the officials there, Chris Williams, our crew chief for tonight, just was taking a look to see
Where that timeout was called to reset the clock. So 26 seconds now here for Halifax to make some magic here, Pete.
They need it for sure. All right, here we go. Cody Jamieson will quickly jog the ball inside rush territory. Gets it to Dawson Theed. Theed finds an open man, comes across. Robinson to the top. Theed shoots, goes high off the glass. Bomberry looking for it. Stotts. Here's Robinson. Shoots. Oh, what a chance. It goes out of play. And it's going to be Halifax ball. 7.5 seconds to go. Theed. Dawson Theed. Here he is. Needs to get a shot away. And now we have a whistle with a rush player down. Under 3 seconds left. And Cody Jamieson is heading to the penalty box.
Two minutes, legal body check.
Here's the illegal body check. Jamieson, he does get up a little bit high there, but I think that's a little bit of a sell job on Mike Messenger. Kudos to get that call. With 2.3 seconds to go, this one virtually is going to be over as Saskatchewan earns a much needed victory to kind of set the tone for this home and home series set.
What a finish, what a game, and it's a 10-9 final. The Saskatchewan Rush defeat the Halifax Thunderbirds in front of over 10,500 here tonight. Frank Chiliano picking up the well-earned victory between the pipes here. We saw some great saves at both ends of the floor, but there only can be one winning goaltender, and that is Chiliano. There's the other one, Warren Hill, tagged with the loss, but that's a big win for the Rush, who came in a bit late. Travel was a little chaotic for everyone this weekend. And they'll take that one. High fives all around. Let's take a look at tonight's 3 stars of the game, brought to you by TFL. What do you got for us here tonight, Pat?
Yeah, certainly some tough decisions considering all the great performances, but El Capitano, Ryan Keenan, putting on a clinic with our first star. Randy Stotts, our second star, was outstanding with 6 points. And the third star in between the pipes, Warren Hill, comes away with his first loss of the year, but not for a lack of effort as his outstanding season continues.
Yeah, both goaltenders were outstanding. I think the score remained under the over and under tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So credit to Chiliano and Warren Hill as handshakes all around, which is always awesome to see. And again, you don't see that in a whole other professional sports, but as Tyson Bell, Drew Hutchison of the Thunderbirds making their way down the line. And we are going to send things down to Mackie Jenner with the game interview.
Austin, I mean, the mantra of this team is everybody eats. You guys had 6 different goal scorers. How helpful is it when you can have so many different contributors?
You know, we just try and work for 60 minutes, and it's anyone's night. We just work hard, and we try and win as a team. That's all we want to do is win.
We talk so much about the success of Frank early on this season. How big is it when he can come up in those big moments and close out tight games like this?
Giggs is a man. You need a goalie in this league to win, and he's our guy.
Now you guys get a win over an undefeated team, your old team. Now you head back to Saskatchewan. How do you carry that momentum into next weekend?
We just try and get better every weekend. It's so early. Like, we're still finding ourselves, and we're just trying to get better every weekend we can, and this is a good step.
Thank you so much, and congrats.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mackie, and thank you, Austin. He is the hero tonight with the game-winning goal against his former team. As we see the Thunderbirds head to the dressing room, a little disappointed, but a great game. Pat, some final thoughts before we roll out.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you are the Thunderbirds, of course, you would have loved to keep that winning streak alive. But the great thing about this now, you get another chance at the same team. Now you go into the Prairies and have a rematch against the Rush. You know what you needed to do. And to be quite honest, I think Micah Kersey knows what this team needs to fix. A lot of it is controllables that they could fix themselves.
All right, on behalf of Pat Gregoire and Mackie Jenner and our great crew here in Halifax tonight, I'm Pete Dolladay from the Maritimes. Good night, everybody.